And then we did see a pretty big upset that last heat.
Yeah, we did, and I like it. I think Sunset Beach becomes the focal point rather than, the athlete. I mean, the athlete's got to go out there and perform in a really difficult playing field, but the star of the show generally is the waves here, and we like seeing that, and creates upsets and creates that anything can happen type of atmosphere.
Yes, it was Jack Robinson and Connor Coffin. Right now we do have Italo Ferreira up against Alex Ribeiro and Keikoa Casemiro. And Keikoa Casemiro, dad on the beach watching. And out in the lineup too, we have Ricardo Christie out of New Zealand. Christie's got a beautiful wave. Takes a big high line, drops at the bottom, looks ahead. He's got a section. There was some difficulty this morning with some backwash off Val's Reef, but it looks like it's cleaned up quite a bit. An opportunity to close out section. And that's how you open up here at Sunset in the first minute of a 30-minute heat.
Yeah, no, it's exactly what you need to do. Is first set, put yourself in position, and no mistakes all the way through. And even that type of surfing right there, it's going to score real high. Ricardo did really well there. He connected with the lip. He was able to mix up his maneuvers. Let's take a look first at Italo. And this is his performances here at Sunset Beach. This guy has been blowing minds on the championship tour, surfing all types of conditions. We didn't know what we were going to see from him, but he has been blowing it up, and we love watching Italo surf. And then behind him, Ricardo Christie, and a little bit smoother wave, second wave of the set. That nice little carve. Again, just comes around the section, makes it smooth, was able to connect with the lip here in the final maneuver. So he gets the combination of major moves. He's able to keep that speed, power, flow, all those parts of the criteria.
With priority is Alex Ribeiro. He's out there in a white singlet. It's hard to see him. There's a rain squall moving through right now, and the wind still quartering offshore. It's absolutely spectacular, but somebody's going to get wet on the beach here. Thanks to Vans, the people on the beach that don't have binoculars, they have a big screen TV. There's quite a few tents they can hide underneath and palm trees, but we are looking at another great heat. This is round 3, heat number 4. Ricardo Christie jumps to the lead with a 6.17 on that first wave. Keikoa has a 3.4, and Italo has a 3.60. For a surfer out of Waimanalo talking to his dad. Well, great surfer, great athlete. As we take a look at the inside, now he's got a long paddle ahead, so he's going to eject off the board and get over to the channel and work his way back into the lineup. So real quick, I've got to tell you that we've got live action here out the back in the rainstorm. It is Alex's first wave, and on his backhand, it's white on white, and it's going to close out on him as well. But the big turns right there we saw in that last heat really count. It's not, you don't have to close it at the finish where it gets a little soft. Yeah, no, we saw Connor Coffin was able to get that one meaty turn, and it was enough to get him through the heat. It was a huge accomplishment there, because he needs to get through a few more to find his way, and I'm sure he is very relieved. Well, I think there's a pretty good breeze blowing, and it's got that a little bit more of a northerly angle to it, so it gets across the face, and we're going to see that most of the day. I think that northerly angled trade winds. We end up, when we still have that, as we watch again in live action. And Keikoa gets underneath the lip, gets around to the next section, and hooks one, and to the shoulder. Can he get one more turn in? He does. Very frothy wave, but wave number 2 good. When you get 2 good waves, it's good to know that, okay, now I can improve on this one and start your game plan. Yeah, and it's there's lots of time, 30 minutes. But again, I was talking about that trade winds, and that's what's kind of why we're seeing a little bit more weather too. You get that angle. When it goes east, it kind of stacks the clouds over on the east side. When you get that northerly angle, it actually brings it more in here on the North Shore. So that's why we're seeing these little passing showers. Late drop. Wow, look at that. Underneath it. That was very difficult for Keikoa, and he stays in control. Had to work hard to get around the corner, which he does. And then the wave starts to smooth out for him. Looks like he's riding a little bit shorter board than maybe his other competitors, but that's the local knowledge, knowing that they can ride smaller equipment in these big waves, position themselves better. It doesn't need quite as much paddle as someone who maybe doesn't surf out here as often. Most likely, tomorrow we'll wrap things up and crown a champion probably before 3:30 in the afternoon. As we take a look at Italo Ferreira. And Ferreira, not a bad wave. A couple of aggressive turns out the back. And Pete taking some chances. And is he on a short board? Is he skipping out a little there?
Yeah, I think he's pushing it. That's what we like from Italo. That's the thing about what he brings to the party that I really enjoy, is his ability to surprise us and make us look and see things we've never seen before. That's what's exciting, and we like it from Italo.
Well, every wave seems to be a little bit different out there. This morning there might have been a little more opportunity. The swell definitely is filling in, but there are whitewater takeoffs you can see right here. Here's Ricardo Christie. Christie trying to replace a .67. To the inside, he's got some open face to work. Doesn't look like it's going to collapse on him, so he's going to put it on rail, and a beautiful turn.
Wow, that was nice stuff there from Ricardo.
We're seeing a lot of, on the bottom of these boards, we're seeing what looks like black stripes. Is that carbon fiber for support or for strength?
Well, I think it's more actually for flex pattern. You know, it adds a bit of strength, but I think it also kind of gives a little bit of a different feel, especially when you're in bigger surf. That you can see that it doesn't go all the way up to the nose of the board. As we watch here, you can see in the bottom there, it doesn't quite go to the very nose, and it sometimes doesn't even go to the very tail. So the flex pattern changes a little bit. But it works really well for Ricardo Christie. You see it loaded up and it springs out, so it's on top of just strength, it is actually more probably for flex. And then behind him, that's Italo. This is live action.
Back to Italo. We got live action. We got replay. He's all over the place, looking to replace a 3.60. The 20-year-old from Brazil that comes in at, I believe, the number 5 seed for this event. Really well done so far. This year has been spectacular for him. A third in Rio, a second in Portugal. Impressive surfing to start things off. He's really worked into the system quite well.
He sure has. It's a confidence. I think he's a youngster and he came into this thing thinking he was going to be able to win some heats, and it has showed because he's done exactly that. You know, and he's been a bit of a giant killer too. I mean, his seed in the beginning of the season, he came off the qualifying series. You know, he didn't have a super high seed, so he had to beat the best to get to where he is right now.
Well, this angle really shows some height on that wave.
Yeah, and I love that. At Sunset Beach, this is by far one of the most challenging events on the qualifying series. We can't say that enough, really, because beyond the fact that it's riding the wave can be a bit of a challenge. You know, the lineup itself is by far one of the most challenging.
The sensation of speed is really, it's right there. And then when you keep thinking that you might be able to hit the lip, it's a whole different aspect of hitting the lip here than other places.
I totally agree with you.
If we take a look out the back, kind of a nice, easy roll-in takeoff, the backhand goofy footer, the 26-year-old from Waimanalo. Koa. Okay, Koa Casemiro. That's not going to work out for him, but he's a strong paddler. There's 7 minutes and 54 seconds remaining. He currently is in third, needing a 3.45. Caddies in the channel giving them information if they can hear it. A lot of paddling, a lot of wind. And our next wave, who's got priority, is Alex Ribeiro. And let's see if he's going to show some interest. No, he doesn't want it. He's not deepest in the lineup. Let's take a look at Keikoa.
And see what went wrong here. You know, he goes up there nice and vertical, but you see the timing there was just slightly off. And he wasn't able to hook that board around, and it got stuck in the lip, and he goes over. And you tell you, it's a bit of a beating when you go over the falls like that.
To improve, Alex needs a 4th place in the round of 32, which would be a 25th. So he needs to get out of this heat if he wants to improve his 2-wave total. That was a very late takeoff for Italo. He is currently in that 2nd spot and trying to get rid of a 4.33, and it's going to be a long paddle for him as he gets pushed down.
Keikoa would have probably the most experience out here in this lineup, whereas Alex is probably just figuring it out. So interesting to see how this unfolds here in this last 45.
With 15-second intervals, we possibly have 2 chances of 2 different waves. First paddler.
There it is, Alex.
And Alex's 2nd wave, after this entire time at 30 seconds on the clock, gets underneath a big section, looks for something to hit here and tucks underneath. Here's a wall ahead of him. What's he going to do except straighten out?
He's not going to do it.
Alex Ribeiro.
Keikoa's chance outside here. He's a good-looking wave, Dave.
Massive wall ahead. Can he get a big turn in? A nice snap underneath there. That's one of the biggest waves of the day. Is it a 6.93 though?
Too bad it's shut down. And even got Alex still riding on the inside here. He finally gets a maneuver done.
And some big backwash, and he ejects. And I don't know if that's going to count.
I think it does. I saw that he got up before the horn.
It then is Ricardo Christie. Trying to better
gonna
a
matter, though.
5.37. Looks like he's going to advance as well. So round 3, heat number 4 coming to a close. We've seen some good heats. That was a tough one for all these guys. And the key is Alex Abedo's score probably won't come through. We're going to say that Cristian Ferreira advanced through. Stay with us.